Hello everyone. I'm sitting out here and enjoying this beautiful weather before it gets too hot. And I've just realized I haven't done a garden update for the month of April. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Y'all, April's here, and I am super happy that April's here. I live in Southwest Ohio, and normally this time of the year, you never know what kind, well, you know what? In Southwest Ohio, you never know what kind of weather you're going to get. But lately, y'all, the weather has been amazing. We've had some 80-degree days and nice wind blowing as well, and I was able to get out in the garden and do a few things. I got my little seedlings out here of what's left of the seedlings because I went ahead and took care of a ton of seedlings and getting them in the ground for the season. And I want to do the garden tour with you to show you everything that's going on outside at Kim's Cozy Corner Garden. I had a ton of cool season crops over here hardening off. And y'all, this is really, well, I got a couple more spots, but this is mostly all I have left because I've done things like this right here. Y'all, look at this bed. We put 12 different vegetables in this bed probably about a month ago now, and it's all coming up. These right here, cherry bell, and what is this one? French breakfast. These are my radishes coming up here. The cherry bell, I believe every last one of those germinated. And then for the French breakfast, we got some spots that didn't do so well. The carrots are coming up, and y'all, I got this stuff falling off of trees, y'all. It's everywhere. It's in everything, on everything, but just don't look at that. Over here, we got beets coming up, and my beets did really well coming up. And there's some more right here. These are albino beets right here, and these are golden beets. There are a few spots that didn't come up, but then there's spots where there's 2 at every spot. So, or that's actually got 3 at every spot. So I believe there's more than 12 per square. More beets back here, another empty spot. And maybe when we watered, I pushed the beets over to the side. And then right here, y'all, turnip greens, purple top turnip greens. I got a golden ball turnip green, 7 top turnip green. And this is, yep, y'all, I ain't gonna try to pronounce that. I'm just gonna show it to you. That one. It's a new turnip green to us this year. And this one is doing better than all of the rest. And then this one is also a new one to me this year. So there are 5 squares of turnip greens. Last year in here, I only had 2 squares of turnip greens, and 2 squares was more than enough for a meal. But y'all, I need more than just enough for a meal. I need to be able to preserve some as well. I did not preserve enough turnip greens to get through the whole season. I got lots of collard greens, but not enough turnip greens. So we definitely want to grow more turnip greens this year. And this year, y'all, I'm going to try my best to eat, the beets, not the purple top turnip greens, but the beets. I'm going to try my best to eat beets this year as well. Don't know if I need enough to preserve yet. I'm still trying to learn my way into beets because y'all, I don't like beets. They taste like dirt. But these varieties right here, they're supposed to be a different type, supposed to be sweet. So we're going to give it a go. The next area I'm going to show you is this GreenStalk right here. Well, before I show you the GreenStalk, my brother did some work for me, y'all. He cleaned this space up right here for me. He put some new weed barrier down. He put some mulch down for me. Got this area nice and ready so I can put me a great big old fabric pot right here for sweet potatoes, and sweet potatoes right there. But in this GreenStalk, we've already done this one together. In the top, we will have basil, but I haven't put that out here yet. You know why, don't you? Every year around the 20th or so of April, we get snow. And I just don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm going to wait till my last frost date, which is like April 25th. And if everything is still looking good 10 days out, I'll go ahead and put that basil in, because basil is a warm season crop, where pretty much everything else in this green stalk is a cool season crop. And we will call this GreenStalk number 1 just for this video here. But I got parsley in here. I have onion in here, oregano, and y'all, we started all of this indoors. Look at that. I think that right there is celery. We got sage down here, cilantro, not to mention all the different types of lettuce growing in here as well. There's even thyme down here in the bottom. So a lot of different herbs growing in this, along with onions, celery, and lettuce. Y'all, I'm super worried about getting peaches this year. I think each one of these trees only had 1 or 2 blooms ever on it. That's it. And so I'm afraid this is not going to be a good year for peaches. There's one little peach right there. And y'all, that's it. I don't see any other peaches over here. I was hoping this would be the year for peaches, but I believe I'm going to be wrong. And it's not like we had a ton of frost. It's not like the blooms came on and the frost came and killed them. I just never saw blooms. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the year for peaches. And I really wanted a bumper crop this year. You see, I got a ton of Happy Frog over here, so I got lots of projects left to put together. My apple trees right here. Now my apple trees bloomed this year. This is the best my apple trees have ever bloomed. So I got 3 different varieties over here. Fuji. Yeah, what's the other ones? Fuji, Sundance, and another one I can't think of right now. But 3 shareable or reachable apple trees, and they do have blooms on them this year. I got my drip irrigation put in throughout the whole garden, so that's happy and ready to go. My fire rings, this one right here, I need to finish smoothing it out, and I need to get all of my flowers in there, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put flowers in there so they can take care of all of that pollination that I need to get done. Those little bees is what I'm talking about. Right here in the very front, these are thornless blackberries. I don't remember the varieties, but they have been producing blackberries now for about 3 years. Moving over here to this little herb bed here. These are perennial herbs. That sage has been growing in that spot now for 3 or 4 years. Chives have been growing right there for just as long. And y'all, these chives and that sage started out in a green stalk, and then it went to a pot, and now it's here. So they've been going longer than that, but that's just how long it's been in this bed. And then right next to it, y'all, this is supposed to be thyme, but it's not very happy. So I planted some more right beside it, one here and one right there, so we can bush that plant up just a little bit. But there is the herb bed, and I have this trellis on here, y'all. I think I'm going to take it down and put it in a different location, because nothing really grows right here because the sun sets that way. So, and this tree is right here behind me. And so I just don't think it's the best spot from a sun standpoint. This back side's always very happy. This front side is usually pretty happy, but everything in the middle, not too happy. So we're going to relocate that trellis. Moving on over. So I turned on the drip irrigation today and forgot to turn it off. So everything's super wet. So I'm going to try to stay as close to the outsides as I can. And yeah, y'all, I know I got a timer, I got an app, I got all of the gadgets. There is no excuse for the drip irrigation to stay on for 2.5 hours, but it did. In this bed right here, I have potatoes. They went in, oh goodness, what, 3 weeks ago or something like that. And they're already poking their little heads up, coming up through the straw. And I intentionally put straw on as many beds as possible. The straw keeps that moisture inside the bed so you don't have to water so much. And I try to get straw that has very little like weed seeds in it, but I am seeing some grass seeds coming up, but I think that's because I spilled grass seeds inside the garage that was sitting next to this straw for over a year. So that might be my grass seeds. It might not have been purchased that way, but that's the way it is today. But anyway, this bed is coming up and it's looking good. Now I got to get straw on a few other beds, but for the ones that I put the straw on for the potatoes, it's doing just what it needs to do. I have a few more plants over here that I need to get in. These are cool season crops. There's some rosemary over there, more onion and some lettuce and things right here. This bed isn't planted out back there, but I figured I'd use the drip irrigation to water those plants since I did plant the front of this bed here with onion. And y'all, I got so much onion. I got so much onion. I'm planting onion everywhere I can find a spot. Everywhere I can find a spot, onions going in because I have a ton, and we're gonna try to turn as much of that onion into produce this year as possible. Okay, in this bed right here, I have, like I said, onion coming up everywhere, y'all, or going in everywhere. I have onion in the front, and when I first put this onion in about 3 weeks ago, y'all, it was laid over and it was all sad looking, but that onion is super happy now. And each and every one of these green plants here is some type of cauliflower, some type of cauliflower in here. And I have traditional whites, I have the cheddars, I have the purples, all different types of cauliflower. And in the very front, and it's not coming up very well, except for this back here, I have carrots. And so we might have to reseed some of those carrots right there. And then I have a whole bunch of some sad looking transplants that I just got sitting on the back side right here. And believe it or not, these beautiful plants right here look just as sad as these back here until I gave them the proper spacing and fertilizer and all that good nutrition. So hopefully these will hang on a little longer and I can make them happy too. This is another potato bed. We started it at the same time, and you can see it's popping up as well, coming out of that straw. So it found its way to the sunlight. And then in the very front, y'all, onion, and more onion. I just planted this a couple of days ago. Y'all, I got so much onion that I stopped even trying to name it. I just need it to be onion in a bed. I don't care if it's red, white, sweet, what. I just need it in a bed. So some of this onion, I have no clue what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a sweet onion at the end of the day. This next bed right here, y'all, this Vigo Garden metal raised bed has a greenhouse cover on it. Now with the weather warming up, I really don't need that cover anymore. But this greenhouse cover right here got me in the garden in February. I have never planted outside in Southwest Ohio, Zone 6B in February, but I was able to do that this year because of this greenhouse cover right here. By having this cover on and having all the sides and everything down, in February, I was able to put my transplants out here. And look, y'all, that's cabbage. We're going to have cabbage early. The onion in the front doing pretty good. And I added a few more onion. I found some blank spots. We added some more onion. Behind the onion, I got broccoli over there as well. And it looks good. And we're in April and it's looking that good. Now that one back there went straight to seed. I need to take it out and put something else back there. But with the weather being the way it is, I opened up the front and the back, but I really need to take the cover off now and put on the insect cover so I can keep insects out, but let the rain come in. That's the only thing about this cover. Rain's not coming in, so I had to make sure I kept it watered. But I am very happy with that cover. I started early, and I'm hoping I can go longer this season because of that cover. So over here, we got all 3 of these chocolate GreenStalks set up, ready for the year. I got the fertilizer, I got the happy frog in them. I got them all cleaned up, ready to go to receive whatever is going to go in, but there's nothing in them yet, with the exception of this one here. So we worked on this one over the weekend. In the top, we planted carrots The next level down is different types of lettuce. The next tier down are, guess what? More onion. So I got the onion in, and then in the very bottom, y'all, I found a new herb called verbena, and I had never heard of this before at all. It's good for teas. It smells amazing, and is good for soaps and all kinds of other good stuff. So we will be doing lots of verbena in the future. So if you know anything about verbena, let me know. And it is a very strong lemon scented plant. You can use it to flavor stuffings and salads as well. But I got 2 verbenas in there, not to mention my chamomile. So we're gonna have some chamomile tea. I got my rosemary in here as well. Yeah, y'all, that rosemary survived. But anyway, this one is all planted up and ready to go. And I can't wait for this one to kind of do what it's going to do, because I'm trying some new things this year and super excited about it. All right, let me show you another change in this main garden area before we move over to the fruit area. So if you look right here, you'll see, if you've been watching my videos, I had grapes right here. I had a grape trellis right here. I removed all of that. That's all gone now. So this bed, even though there's nothing in it, is ready to accept whatever we want to put in it. Still need to put some fertilizer and stuff in it, but this bed will be prime real estate for something. And I'm not sure what I want it to be yet, but probably one of my summer crops versus my cool season crops, because I got so many beds already of cool season crops out there. And y'all, you can see there's still, over in this area alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are still 6 beds in this area, not to mention fire rings and 2 GreenStalks that's still waiting to receive something. Now, I still have a ton of work to do over here because, y'all, it's not even, it's not level. I need a nice, even garden. So I still need to move a few things around from over in this space here to over in this space over here. So we got more work to do, but we got a good start, being that it's just mid-April right now. This is the last tomato bed that we did together. Oh yeah, and when we did this one together, y'all, remember that dog tried to come and get me? The dog come running from down here. It was chasing something. It looked up and it saw me and it started coming my way, y'all. And it was between me or the dog, and it wasn't going to be me. I picked up my hoe, but I didn't have to use it. He was a friendly dog. But anyway, we were planting this bed right here when we were having all that chaos happening. And so this is another potato bed. So we'll have potatoes in the front, but on this trellis, we'll have something else. And yeah, y'all, I didn't clean off last year yet, but we will have beans growing on the trellis, but the potatoes are already in. And back here is where we moved the grapevines. So there were a total of 3. There was a little baby one, which we planted in the ground. And since we planted, the leaves opened up and it stayed happy. Actually, it might be happier now than it was before. And then we had the real big one. The leaves have opened up on it as well. So I think it's going to survive. There's some more new leaves getting ready to come on right there. And then this is the last one, and I was worried about it until today. So today I saw the leaves starting to open up and bud up on here as well. So I believe the grapevines are going to survive in their new home. In the very front, I put 1 cabbage right there because, y'all, that was ground. I couldn't let any dirt go unused. So I put a cabbage on that end, and I put a cabbage over here on this end. We have onion across the front of this bed right here, and they are already standing at attention and getting happy as well. But I still have room for something else on this side and something else on that side. And I believe it's going to be eggplant, but I'm not putting that stuff out here this early. I'm not going to fall for that. This is my rhubarb, looking good. I transplanted that there at the end of the season last year. I actually planted 2. The second one didn't make it, but the first one did. So I'm happy about that. And then
we brought our blueberry that we have been trying to keep alive outside, and we planted it in the ground. And y'all, right now it's not very happy. I'm hoping it gets happy. When I first put it in the ground, it was looking really bad, but it looks like it's trying to come back. I hope I don't lose this plant. After nursing it indoors for 6 months, I hope it survives. We'll keep moving over. So this is a bed of brassicas, mostly, well, actually, lots of brassicas. I have broccoli, cauliflower, I think, in here. Y'all, I don't remember. But is broccoli, purple cauliflower, or purple cabbage or something like that, all in this bed right here. And y'all, they looking good. They're looking really good. And y'all, I had some strawberries in this bed, and I had some strawberries over there that were growing in front of the grapes. And I had somebody say to me, I don't think strawberries and brassicas like each other. Well, we don't have to worry about that now, because I had to move those strawberries and put them in my strawberry GreenStalk because I wasn't paying $5 for one strawberry plant. So I relocated those strawberries, and I'll show those to you in just a moment. So now there's no worry about strawberries and brassicas being in the same bed. Here's one of my little bitty cherry trees. One of them right there. Oh, man, I thought that was a cherry. That is not a cherry. Oh well, I thought I had a cherry on there. I have strawberries growing in this bed right here. They've been growing in this bed, y'all, for about 5 years, honestly. So they're happy in that bed, and I'm gonna keep them in that bed. Here's some more of those not so good looking brassicas that's just thrown all over the garden. That's okay, we'll find a home. And this is where I'm kind of talking about or thinking about doing something different. So I call this part of my garden my little orchard, because I have apple trees, peach trees, blueberries, strawberries, cherries, all growing over here. And I also try to grow melons over here too. Watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, that kind of stuff. But I don't have enough places for it. So and since I moved my grapes, I don't think I got enough places for cucumbers either. So I put this in here. It's not going to stay, but I put this cattle panel trellis in here, just kind of give me an idea of what it's going to look like if I put a cattle panel trellis in this bed for cucumbers. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to relocate the one that's over there with those herbs to this spot right here in the front, and we can put cucumbers in there because there's nothing behind it that needs a whole bunch of sunlight other than that little cherry tree, and I believe that cherry tree is going to be just fine. And then we're going to move these 2 pots out of there to another location. So y'all, we're still working on the design a little bit, trying to keep the sun in mind and what I need to grow more of. This is one of my peach trees that, by the way, didn't bloom either. Nope, it didn't bloom, not at all. But it's alive, so I'll take it. I got blueberries right here, and this did bloom. This one bloomed, as well as this one really bloomed. Look at this. Look at all those blooms on that one. Those will all be blueberries in the near future, if I don't have those skunks and squirrels and raccoon and deer and wild dogs and coyote. Y'all get the picture, right? All of those things that like to come into my garden. So I'm gonna have to give it a little more protection to keep them out. But y'all, we're gonna have blueberries. And this little blueberry bush right here, this little one, used to be over there where we moved the grapevine. And so we've relocated it here. And y'all, since I put it here, I think it done grew. I think it's doubled in size already. That's just how much is growing. This peach tree right here, again, no blooms, none at all. And I just think that is so weird that none of my peach trees bloomed, none. And I have I have 4 peach trees, and not one of the 4 peach trees bloomed. So I don't know. I think that's more weather related versus something I did wrong. But my apple trees, hoo, hoo, hoo. This right here is my pink lady apple tree. And y'all, look at the blooms. And I did get 3 pink ladies on those last year, and I had just put this tree in the ground. And now this tree is a couple years old and it's got a ton of blooms. I'm going to just keep moving around here. So this right here is Juliet. So this is Juliet, my cherry tree. And the little baby one over there is Romeo. Yeah, y'all heard me right. I made Juliet the bigger tree. I did that. I don't know which is which, but I really do believe this one was the Juliet. So it's a cherry tree there. They come together, Romeo and Juliet. You get 2. One's a sweeter cherry and one is a little more tart. But at the end of the day, there's 2 cherry trees. And these stay small in stature, so that's pretty cool. And y'all, for real, y'all see it, right? That's a real cherry. That one right there, my first ever cherry in the garden. And it may be my only cherry in the garden. But this did have blooms on it, so maybe I'll get more than one. And I just put these trees in last year, so it's really a little early to be trying to think about getting fruit, but I will take it if it's going to give it to me. This is my Honeycrisp tree, and it has blooms on it as well. And actually, y'all, this one tried to bloom on me in October, which is different. Not in October. You ain't gonna get no apples here in October. You can harvest them and eat them, but you're not gonna have a bloom that's gonna make it through the season. Y'all, here's a whole bunch of onion that needs to find a home. That's a lot of onion, y'all. All 1,000 of what I have left are right there. Y'all, we'll find a home. Right here, this is another brassica GreenStalk I set up. So I have in here different types of mustard greens. So I think that's purple mustard greens in the bottom. And then just traditional, like a curly mustard green up here. And then in between some of this mustard green, y'all, I have different types of brassicas. And I also have some pitiful, pitiful looking curly kale up here too. But this curly kale, y'all, is starting to get happy again. So I'm not mad about that. If I remember correctly, these are purple sprouting broccoli plants. And then more kale right here. So kale, broccoli, and mustard greens are growing in this GreenStalk. And y'all look at this. This went straight to seed because it got so hot. So I'm going to pull that middle stem out and just see if I can get it to grow long enough to harvest a couple leaves off of here before it completely go to seed. But I need more than one plant, so hopefully that'll buy me a little bit of time. But I just did this GreenStalk a day or 2 ago. And there's some more pitiful looking transplants that's out here wanting a new home that I need to find a new home for it. And y'all, don't sweat. I'm gonna find a home for that broccoli. I will sometime in the next week or 2, and cauliflower and whatever else is over there. I had some folks come over and help me out over the weekend, and we knocked out 7 GreenStalks over the weekend. And I want to say thank you to the Muncie crew for coming to Kim's Cozy Corner and helping us get the season started off right. If if they hadn't done it, that would have taken me 3 weeks to do, and we did 3 weeks of work in just a little over 4 hours. So I thank them for everything that they did to help me. While they were here, we went ahead and took care of the GreenStalks over here as well. So I manage my garden over there, as well as this garden over here for my neighbors. And so in this GreenStalk, y'all, we planted it up. We put onion on the bottom, hoping that'll keep the squirrels out a little better. And then we mixed up a lot of lettuce. So this is a mixture of lettuce right here. All of it's different types of leaf lettuce. And they love celery, so then we put celery in on this next level here. Coming back up to some more lettuce right here on this level. And then in the very top, we put in carrots. Now we went ahead and added these greenhouse covers on the top. And the reason we chose to add them to the top is because the squirrels like to come from over there at that house over there. Y'all, they feed the squirrels peanuts. And then the squirrels come over here to all of this wonderful garden space and want to hide their peanuts in the green stalks and in my beds. And so they always like to come over here to these green stalks and they like to dig it out and leave peanuts behind. So last year, late in the season, we added these greenhouse covers. And after we added the greenhouse covers, the squirrels kind of left it alone a little bit. So we're trying it again and we'll see if it works. But we got that one all planted up, and this one wasn't sitting very level. So we brought over a patio paver to kind of help level it out a little better and get it sitting up right so we can have good, even watering on that one. And then we planted up this one over here as well. We only did the bottom 2 tiers. So in the very bottom, I think that's broccoli. And we have the greenhouse covers down here as well, trying to protect that bottom layer. And then we got broccoli on this next level. I think it's broccoli, y'all. I think. Yes, that's broccoli. But we left the top 2 tiers open. The plan for the top 2 tiers is to bring in cucumbers over here and micro dwarf tomatoes. So we've been doing lots of different things over here, but we're going to stick to just the micro dwarf tomatoes in the top and cucumbers. And we're going to put some trellising on it. And then this one's going to be gorgeous. And we're going to use more of the main garden area to do more tomatoes and peppers this upcoming season. And my neighbor has already started working on it, trying to get the garden together. She's been cleaning up. Y'all, she just never stops. She never stops. She's always out here working on weeds and that kind of stuff. There's a few leftover carrots from last year. I wonder if they overwintered. We'll have to get in there and check those out. But we will be planting up these 12 beds as well. Now, y'all, I was saving one area in my garden for last, and I did it intentionally because I'm just so proud of what I'm getting ready to show you. Now, you probably saw it in the background as I was walking past it, but we're going to talk about it now. So I got all 3 of my strawberry green stalks set up, all 3 of them. So we set this one up together and we transplanted in every pocket with something. We already got our little strawberry cups on there. Oh, oh, look, a red strawberry. Okay, get back down there, hide so nobody don't see you. But we got our little strawberry cups on here. So when we start to get runners, we're gonna pull those runners over into these strawberry cups. And I pulled all of the strawberries off of this when I planted it up, and I'm starting to get strawberries, y'all. These are all Ozark Beauty strawberries, and I did purchase them from a nursery. Oh, 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 y'all look at that. Y'all, tomorrow, if it can make it to tomorrow, we're gonna have strawberries. Anyway, this green stalk right here and the one over here has a combination of brand new strawberries that I purchased from the nursery or strawberries that were in there from last year. For those who follow me, y'all, I didn't think any of the strawberries were going to make it. We had the harshest winter I can recall having in Southwest Ohio. I mean, between the snow and the sub-zero temperatures that went on for weeks, I didn't think they survived. And so I was with the GreenStalk folks and they said, well, did you wrap it in bubble wrap or did you put your frost covers on it? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't go outside. It was too cold to put that stuff on. So it is what it is. It was what it was. But y'all, some of them survived. I would say about somewhere between a third and 40% or so of them survived. So as we started cleaning them out and cleaning them up, we started finding little strawberries that were happy. And we didn't think they were going to be happy, but they were happy. They were like in hibernation and waiting for some good weather to come, but y'all, they survived. Some of them did. So I have about 75% of this one filled, as well as 75% of that one with both new and strawberries from last year. And there are a few empty pockets. Like here's an empty pocket, here's another one right here, and there's some empty ones on that one as well. But last year, y'all, I didn't have strawberries in every pocket, but by the end of the season, I had strawberries in every pocket. Y'all, can I just make it one more day and I can harvest strawberries? I'm so excited because I'm going to harvest strawberries. I gotta turn my little owl back on to scare everybody away. But y'all, I have 42 pockets. 42 pockets. That would have been 84 plants. All of them aren't full. And then I upgraded the third one to just the original planter. So there are fewer pockets, but they're deeper, and I'll have a better chance of them surviving the harsh winters of Southwest Ohio. So y'all, that is the garden tour for April. You got to see everything that I've done so far, the things I'm still working on, and the mess that I haven't even touched yet for the season. But that's what's going on in April at Kim's Cozy Corner. Talk to you again real soon. Bye.